get,
And it worked.
copy this, send it to Dan. All right. Dan, you still there? Okay. It's not super loud.
No mirror, no mirror.
Yeah. The middle, so that.
Dan. All right, no, no. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
So the first thing on the agenda is to discuss the purchasing of a new fire department vehicle.
Yes. Just so you guys have an idea of what it is.
Thank you.
Dan, in the development. Hey guys, this is, we had a model we established 3 years ago, which to, as I explained to two of you already, is, this model was to enhance the EMS and giving the response time. Hang on, Dan, we're gonna close it. The response time to be successful for us and the, as you know, the ambulance service comes from Blue Hill. You've got 28 minutes, but for somebody to deal with a patient. So what we decided on is a EMS vehicle because the rescue that we have truck is overloaded with equipment. Okay, and it's aged out, and we had to get some of the weight out. We got the weight out. Like this model that we use for the squad is, I want people to take it home who is in EMTs and EMS program. They go to the beach, they go to work for the day. This is something that you will see, and you've seen the other one around town. This one you'll see even more. And it will enhance the response time completely. Be a big jump, I'm hoping. And the support of the membership is extremely good with it. And we chose one, and this is what it is. And we have on your picture on there on the bottom, you can see the other things in which I've got to add. This unit, because one, we have drugs, we have different things on board that need an inverter. We got to put the inverter on there because we can plug in the heater in the wintertime. It is going to be stored over at behind the hospital. That's where squad is right now. And we have heaters and it's hooked up in there. We may have to move one more golf cart to get it in there. It's like too close for me, and I'm afraid that something could get hit. And that will only be for, you know, February, March, April, and then we're out of there. And until next winter, until we have an established building for us sometime in the future. So, you know, we went through the, you know, what we want, and this is what came out of it. And what my biggest thing was is that the EMS people can have access to the equipment, standing on the ground, grabbing it at compartments. In the back, if you see here, you can't see it, but it's a cupboard and it has drawers in it. So we pull it all out and it comes right out on a table, and then that will allow them to pick what they need and to go in to do, you know, their sort of their call. So it's going to cost us, these are added items, and we'll also have to put these signals and in graphics on the side of the vehicle, minimal. You know, the town of Castine 911. It already came with lights, a winch, other things that to be used on. But it's going to cost us, and a rough total end product is 76. I think it's around the ballpark with all the other ads. And I'm looking for you guys to give the okay.
How much that
time. It's much faster. So, but like if it's in town, we're talking 3, 4, or 5 things from the time there's a call to their until they're on their way.
It's every case is different. Every situation is like today, one of our EMTs might be sitting in an office right upstairs from here. You know, right, and this van goes right out in the parking lot, she's there within 2 minutes. Or, you know, what we're trying to do is promote that they take it more and it helps the response. Not every day they're gonna do that. If she goes to the beach and hangs out with the beach with a you know, kid, it's at the beach. It's a different concept. It is to, one, show the town that we're here, we're doing it. 2, response is critical in a lot of situations. Now, if you really nail it down, how many times a year that we save somebody's life, I'd say 3 or 4. And that's literally saving somebody's life. Right? And Tom can totally attest to that. And then there's other times that we're holding their hand and making them feel comfortable until the ambulance service gets. So you never know each time. Yeah, it is to us, and I'm very proud of the individuals that do it. So you know that any questions and things, and we evaluated, we saw it, we took it through all the tests that we had, and everybody picked it apart and put it back together. So we get there.
So Randy, just one question. So my understanding, we have squad right now.
Yes.
Which has been, been used in a similar function. It's my understanding that when the town bought squad, we didn't pay much money for it. It was a used vehicle. It was helping bridge a gap and to save crash, since it's aged out, and try to put less wear and tear on crash. So the status of squad, it's my understanding that now is failing, and that's the primary reason that we need a replacement vehicle. We're not looking to couple this with squad, are we?
There's a
Squad is
possibility.
aging out itself.
It won't pass inspection.
Squad, the current squad, right?
Current squad won't.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go and I'm not gonna put good money on top of bad money.
Mhm.
It's gonna take thousands of dollars to put it into repair, and it's rusted all up. The frame underneath is totally fixable by individuals, like the guys. But putting that out and putting, somebody in the ladies and the EMTs in it, no, it's up. But you can fix it, and we could use it for traffic control, we could use it for different things. I don't know yet. It has value, but we're trying to just make it safe for everybody right now, and then we'll work on that. But I have individuals say, we'll work on it, it takes months to bring it back, to an inspectable. But it has the lights, it has the paint, it has so many options, and you have to look at the future. How can we use it in a way that benefits the town of Castine? And what our goal is now, what we're really focusing on, is traffic safety at car accidents. 2 years ago, a police officer was killed. We have been training, teaching more people how to protect ourselves when we're at a car accident or something like that. People drive at a scene, they're gawking, number one. Number two, they drive fast. We have just purchased, and we used them in this last year, and I just bought 2 more, is speed humps. As we had that discussion, these are literally put out now because we put a piece of apparatus right in the road. The goal is, if you're working on a patient in this car here, that they'll hit the piece of apparatus and not the individuals. So what we're also doing is putting up speed humps before the scene. We go by at 45, 50 miles an hour. Even though somebody's standing right there, they just ignore it, or they're just in la la land. And we just come to the point where we have to do it to protect the individual. Or nobody, why would you want to risk it? It is our job, from the EMTs are in there, to make sure that they can do their job completely without fear. And I'm gonna put a piece of apparatus in front of them to protect them, whether it's $1 million or. That's just my thoughts and the way I look at it. And that I would use the squad, for a purpose, the traffic, we have to go to the 6 mile corner and shut down roads. Rather using a piece of apparatus that we have to do, and it might be needed on the scene, I'll send that. Now, but it's gotta be legal, it's gotta be able to do it, but I'm not gonna put money on top of that. Now, if we can fix it up ourselves, that's a different story. That's why we came to this. That all makes sense to everybody, how our logic is.
You know, Randy, the one thing I will say is, for like the traffic control is, I'm not gonna mention names because it wasn't our department, but for one thing, the lights are very bright on the LED, so they're hard to see the men in the road or anything else. So I don't know if there's a way to dim those down a little more, but also their stop slow paddles. They need to make sure those have the reflectivity on them too, because it looks like some of them have been throwing them in their trucks for years and they have no reflectivity. You don't see that stop paddle till you're within like 50 feet, you know?
People,
So-
there is a state mandated in that book that is in there. We have to buy state certified signs
Right.
that cost twice as much, but they're certified to use as a. And the handle have to be a certain length, and that book, believe it or not, has all that in it. Yeah, you get a minute, go through it like. Detail. It's a reference finding, it really is, and that, So. And I have other stuff if I can bring to you guys. Is that okay?
Not today.
Not to. Okay, because I got topics with Woods. Woods, design. For if we're gonna, if we're moving forward, hopefully, and getting all this done on the new fire station. The design aspects and some different things that I want to bring to you guys. Yeah, because I got cold water rescue, the library, community paramedicine. These are all items that.
What'd you say before community paramedicine? Say the library
Cold water rescue.
Cold water rescue,
or something?
library. MMA construction at Chris. I mean, there's a lot going on. Very much.
When's our next work session? Do we have a busy one, Sue, what you're thinking, or so? Because Amy talked about, and remember, we had a talk on Monday about actually getting together with the fire leadership to actually start talking about this building, because we're meeting with Colliers next week. And then we're gonna want to start working on that RFP for the OPM and all that, but also we need to lock down, size, everything else, because we've been told we need a price. And we'll get clarity next week on that, but I mean, so I think that would be a good time to have all these issues, call it like a public safety workshop or something, Yeah, that might be a busy one too, right?
I don't. To do 2 hours.
I'll make it work.
And then I'll just remind you that, we're also gonna need to have our first budget meeting. I've actually. I'm in hopes to make budget books to give to you guys on a Tuesday. I put together, which, I mean, there's holes in it because there's obviously things that you guys are gonna have to make, but that will be a completely separate budget work session. So that's,
That's another work session, yes. Okay. It's gonna be busy.
Might have a weekly work session.
We might have to.
Women's work is gonna be,
committee or just-
No,
guys
that's a
working on-
separate thing. We're doing it on our own and we just gotta bring everybody up to speed what we're all doing and, you know, that everybody agrees, you know, that,
Well, you probably also need to bring Minko's Heritage Trust into it since they own it.
That's the way that we would.
right, and there's a new girl now. Well, she's leaving and there's another new one coming. I think the first time we just gotta say what's going on. Yeah, keep it to us, and then when we actually do anything, we'll let her know. Cause they're in a transition. She's moving on to another job. January 27th, it's a Thursday.
Should be a Monday.
Good Monday.
Oh, I was in February. That's the date, but that might be why. January 27th is a Monday. It won't be, just cover it, you know.
Okay, so. Do. Aaron, we do. Good observe.
Yeah, the reserve fund has about $160 thousand and then, the other thing we may want to, when would the check actually need to be cut, Randy? Do you know?
We can, work with them and get a down payment. This gotta go back into the lineup for manufacturing to put in the inverter and put in the other things. We just get them a holding check and
Okay,
that's
so,
fine.
I mean, one, you could either make the motion to approve, cutting a check today, or we can do that on Tuesday on your regular meeting. I can add that to the warrant, but I'll need to know how much. So,
And the other thing is to go pick it up, we may have to fly somebody down and they're on one way and then they drive it back.
where is it?
Buffalo, New York.
They could make a motion to approve the concept of purchasing and then get the vehicle details and deposit for you for the warrant later.
Right.
AFC for NFL championship tickets, and I'll go with you to Buffalo. Just kidding, everybody.
And I had to get the final price, so it's in a range, and we just, you know, if we can give them a down payment. And then, you know, we nail all this down, so I'm not gonna go on the inverter, I'm not going to the high end. I raised the amps on the alternator. Dude, because you put lights on everything, I got the strongest alternator that I could get.
Today,
Yep,
and then call us up the office, so we can put it on for Tuesday.
perfect.
And then you guys want to motion to approve the concept. And then I'll make the motion if we approve the concept to purchase. New EMS vehicle.
Yep.
Fire department. There's like a second.
Dan?
Is
Yeah,
there- Is there any other discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Thank you very much. And, if you guys have further to discuss, there are motion to adjourn. So. Second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you, Dan. Sorry about the mix up.
Oh, no, no, no.
Okay, bye, Dan. Thanks.
Yeah, Dan.